All right, we are live and we'll refresh and see. You can see us and you can hear us and nothing yet. YouTube a little slow. Okay, we are good. So special little live show today, randomly during the day. And this is anyone can jump on. Anybody wants to talk about their business, situation, capital, mindset, anything they want to talk about, we can throw them in, and we'll give you some good time, not overboard to where other people can't ask anything, but a decent amount of time. But if no one jumps on, then me and the B will talk just business in general. So let me get this invite, get this link on here, and then we'll also see who's here. So throwing it on, and there it is in the chat. So Connor, J. Ochoa, Patrick, Mr. Bray, Mr. 89 Romeo, let me see, Menace, Texas Pete, Josh, Stevie D, and Menace, I already said Menace, Mercurial Venom, Josh Brown, Bradtown Finds, Jay's Closet, let's see, Anna and Rob Saxon, see, Tony B, Aiden, Redrum, Mr. Mormo, Jay's Closet, and Shaquille, Gavin, Elite Hustler, Middle M, Omar, Tony B, Tyler, Mario, Gavin, I for Profit, more people coming in. So, cool. And then we're also like, if there's multiple people coming in, then we'll just assign a number, like who's first, who's second, things like that. So I'll post it again. I'll post it every, 4 or 5 minutes. This is our first time doing this, so we don't know how many people are really going to jump in. But like I said, no one jumps in. We're going to talk business stuff regardless. All the other live shows, we do, sneaker stuff and everything. But need to get down to business. That's what Hustle B loves.
Right. That's
analytics and business stuff.
100%. I mean, this is some unique times that we're in. We can always look at it in a bad way, but like me and Glenn always talk about, and everything that we discuss is like, how can we use this as an opportunity instead of an obstacle to slow us down? What are the things that we can do now so that it could help us, in the future? So I'm a firm believer of, there's no easy way to success. You got to put in the hard work, and every day I always ask myself, like, what's that hard work or what's that hard thing that I've been putting off that I can do now, because I have all the time in the world that will help me in the future. So.
Yes, sir. And if you don't want to jump on, you just want to ask questions in the chat,
right?
You can do that too. If you do want to jump on and you want us to look at like your eBay store, I mean, you can do anything you want at this point, whatever you want to ask, as long as we can hear you and we can see you, and your username is either like your YouTube or Instagram name, something we can see who you are, know who you are, and go back and forth on that. Now, one thing I was thinking about that I know you're going to agree with is, throughout this whole time, we've had throughout the years, IG, everyone posting finds, everything like that. Some people enjoy it. Some people, find it kind of boring right now that no one's posting any finds.
Right.
Other people, small amount of people get a little discouraged. Like, I don't have any of that stuff in my area, things like that. But I know you're agreeing with this, is that, not comparing yourself to anybody else business-wise. You have to master your craft, which I know you definitely agree with that statement. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, like if you look at the other business sector or in other industries, the person that get paid the most is the one that's an expert on what he's doing, right? As doctors, they go 8 to 10 years in school. Lawyers go a long time. They gotta pay in, right? They gotta pay for education, but in the longer run, right, they sacrifice this X amount of years to master something, right? Because even if if you're a doctor, the doctors that get paid the most are the specialty doctor, right?
Yeah.
I know somebody that's a neurosurgeon. Guys, like took him like 12 years to get to where he's at right now, but now he was able to pay all his student loans and debt in like less than a year because he's an expert in what he does. So I think it's somewhat frustrating that that people in the entrepreneur world think that, you do eBay for a year, and then next thing you know, you feel like you know everything, and then you take on 5 different projects after that. And then we've seen it, in the last 3 years that I'm doing it. People, go really fast, 0 to 100 real quick, and then after that they disappear because they drown in all the projects that um, they've took on. So I mean, even with just my journey, I didn't take on any other platforms until almost after 2 years of doing eBay. I wanted to dominate eBay. I wanted to master eBay. I wanted to master sourcing for eBay. I wanted to master listing for eBay. If you can see the trend there, I was focusing on one platform. I mastered how to read the numbers as far as traffic, click through rate, and everything on eBay. And I think it's paid off. That sacrifice of that's paid off because now my eBay is my major source of income, and then now I've added different platforms. So getting eBay to a number that I'm comfortable with, that's been consistent for quite some time, gave me the freedom to learn other platforms and experiment. And when we say about learn and experiment, that includes the mistakes,
Yeah,
even the costly
definitely.
mistakes. So I think that's very important when you talk about mastering one craft and focusing on one thing at a time.
Yes, sir. And Patrick, $5. Thanks for the knowledge. Appreciate that in the super chat. We do have one guest. Let me see if we can see him. Connor. Let me see. Are you in, Connor?
Hello.
There we go. We can see him. He's talking. We heard him. Connor, what's up?
What's up, Glenn? How are you?
Doing good. How are you? Chilling?
Yeah, I'm just chilling. I just wanted you to see a Play-Doh's find that I had. Adidas Raf Simmons.
Oh wow,
$50.
nice.
I'm just asking a question. Where do you think would be a good site to sell those on?
So if they are, I mean, they're Play-Doh, so more than likely they are pre-owned. So you're probably looking at eBay #1, GOAT #2. Also, one thing to keep in mind right now with GOAT, it is taking them a while to authenticate things. So
I just got money from GOAT today because they finally authenticated a thing after like 2 weeks. So
yeah, they've been taking a while. Macari and Let Go, but the thing is, you do get kind of more lowballers than anything on those.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably say eBay is still going to be your #1 on that one.
Yeah, somebody recommended Grail, so try listing it on Grail too, and also on the other end, if I mean I personally don't know the comps of it, but I know Raf Simmons, is a high end sneaker collab with Adidas. What I would do is just list it in all platforms and just start as high as the comps are showing you. If it sold for 300 before, I would start there and then just add best offer and see what kind of offers you're getting, and from there, depending on your capital, on everything else, that would be the business decision that you make. I mean, obviously you paid $50 for it, so double your money is really good already. But obviously we want something more than that. So I guess check your competition in this exact size. And see, if there's somebody that's selling it for 300 and you want to let go of it, undercut that guy for 295. Don't undercut that guy by 200. Don't sell it for 200 when the other guy's 300. So just try to put that there, or even match his price, beat his listing, make a better photo, and stuff like that. So that's a good find.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to show you all that. Thank you for having me on.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, so we got one in. Anybody else wants to jump over? So what about Poshmark though? Like, how has your Poshmark been right now?
It's actually been doing good. But I jump started back Poshmark because I haven't paid attention to it in Q4. So maybe the last time I touched Poshmark was around October, and after that's been dead. Well, a lot of it is like a lot of my listing is sold on eBay, so I had to take it off Poshmark. So a week ago, a week, exactly a week from now, me and my wife was like, let's upload everything to Poshmark and Mercari. Then as soon as we did that, I think I hit a little over 1,000 in Mercari already, and Poshmark I'm close to 1,000 already too. So Poshmark is doing well. The thing that I noticed with Poshmark, obviously it's more a women's platform. So I did sell a lot of my women's shoes and clothing there. So given that data, me and my wife are focusing on listing all the women's to Poshmark first.
Yeah, definitely. Smooth sailing. Well, it's for me and him are trying to get some business thing going. So that's for something totally different.
It's the Gary Payton jersey.
Yeah, yeah. We're trying to figure out some things, but still, at least we got it done. Caroline, what's up? Thumbs up. Let me see. What was the other one? There's another question. What do you think about people reselling dumbbells?
I guess it's like reselling dumbbells, video games, Nintendo Switch, and everything like that. Obviously, it's a non-essential item, which our shoes fall on that, right? Nobody needs shoes right now. I'm 100% okay with it, and I think that's an opportunity that we can take advantage of if you are comfortable, risking your health, going to the stores and picking them up. Personally, I didn't, I knew about it. I didn't want to do it, but I don't have any issues with that. I don't think it's non-ethical in a way, because you're providing a service for people that value their health more than going to the store, right? So if I have the $500, and I'm gonna be like, I'd rather pay somebody $300 for dumbbells rather than me going out and possibly contracting, the coronavirus. So, I think it's an exchange of service. But
right now it's doing really, really well because people aren't going to go out to work out, but at the same time, like OfferUp, Macari, people are selling them cheaper. If you want to go in, somehow figure out how to meet this person, like you said, technically going out at risk. You can figure that out how you want to get it done, but they are selling extremely well right now. For weights, figure out the shipping, make sure you don't get screwed over with that if because they are going to weigh quite a bit depending what weights there are out there. And I think someone else, before we go back, we were saying about mastering, and like mastering your craft and figuring that out. And what I meant by that too was like before all this happened, we were going to Ross, Burlington, Nike Outlet, everything like that. And every time we'd always say, figure out your restocking times. How many times do we get in the questions, the DMs, the chat? Hey, when should I go to Ross? When do they restock? The thing is, every store is different, but you have to figure that out on your own. Ask questions, talk to employees like, are you guys restocking today? And you might get smart ass answers from employees like they did one time when I asked them, you guys going to restock today? Sir, we restock every day.
Right. We get trucks every day.
Yeah. So it's like ask different employees, see who you can talk to, go different times, try in the morning, try in the afternoon, write them down. I went Tuesday in the morning, they restocked. I went Wednesday night or afternoon, they restocked. Like keeping track of these things is technically mastering, putting in that extra work to figure that out, because a lot of people, they want it easy. Like just tell me when to go. Like it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Let me go back up. Let me see. What have you guys been selling the most shoe-wise during this? Running shoes mainly? ? I'll go first. And right now, I did sell only like one women's shoes. The rest, I did sell Vapor Max. For some reason, I've been selling jerseys. I don't know. Like, I didn't think anyone was really going to buy them. But I sold like 6 jerseys the last like 4 days or something. Shoe-wise, what else? Jordan 4 Flyknit. I did sell one pair of that one. Bread 11s here and there. So if people are still buying the higher end stuff,
Right.
I don't think anyone's really like in panic mode right now as far as
Mhm.
spending money. They're still willing to do it. I think people are just looking for this thing to be over and done with, and we can continue. But maybe another 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, if we're in the same place, I think then you'll start to see a little bit more of that struggle
Right.
and maybe people not spending that sort of money.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with that one. Surprisingly, I've been selling jerseys. I sold a Bengals jersey today. Remember when we got it in Houston like 2 years ago?
They're ready for that number one pick.
Yeah, so I did. I did sell a Bengals jersey. I did sell a Kawhi Leonard jersey. Um, so that's I've sold that. Yes, our running shoes, mostly like workout equipment. I've been selling a lot. I mean, I did sell like 3 soccer jerseys,
Hmm?
so I guess that's considered jerseys. I think mainly a lot of it is like activity. I was able to sell some what do you call that? Some aero layers. You know, maybe they want something to wear during when they're running outdoors or something like that. So those are the stuff that I've been selling. And I agree. There's I've sold some high ticket items here and there, but it's not like it used to, for sure.
Yeah, not like you. I mean, we've seen. Well, we'll go back to the questions though, and then see. Are you buying stocks?
I did buy stocks. I put
Okay.
about 1,500, and I already lost 20% of it. I thought it was already the cheapest at that time, and then now it's still going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm thinking about buying more to even out the loss. But I'm banking on it for the bounce back in Q4, hopefully.
Yeah, I haven't bought any stocks. I know people have recommended it. I just don't want to go into something that I don't really know a whole lot about. Now, at the same time, I'm focusing like, the inventory I have right now, obviously the YouTube channel, and kind of like building up that money. I do believe opportunities will come soon, but I'm not really sure when. But I'm just kind of like stacking up the money, and when the opportunity comes, I'll be ready for it. But for stocks right now, I'm just kind of like I would really have to try to learn. Like you said, just like the eBay thing, you're gonna make mistakes.
Right.
It's gonna take time to learn. I know people are looking at it as like fast money right now since
Right.
people don't really know what else to buy stuff, or
Right.
what they're doing. But I would definitely put in the work and try to figure it out. And you are going to make mistakes when it comes to that. For some reason, I've been selling random shoes that haven't moved in a while. I think the first week I was selling like stuff that I thought they were just like dead listings. All of a sudden,
Right.
people brought them from the dead. I've been selling puzzles for 40, $50. There we go. Puzzles, board games,
Right.
things to keep people entertained inside their house. I've been doing well. Have your sales increased or decreased since the pandemic?
Um, I'd say decrease for sure. I just
Yeah.
did my numbers earlier. I'm down 34% since when was it? Since March 16. So I think that's when I saw like the big drop when the whole thing really got, when I think that's when like San Francisco shut down and certain states, and I think that was the start of New York thing. But yeah, so I did the numbers on eBay. I'm down like 34%.
Mhm.
Um, but but because I've put in the time and effort on Poshmark and Mercari, between those two, it's definitely I'm up 2.5 grand because I'm cross listing there. So I think overall about 20 to 30% in total.
Yeah. He's like, who keeps passing by this guy's house? This guy.
I think my wife's out there.
Oh, okay. They're like, dang, this guy. Let me see. I was looking at my sales last 31 days. Let me see. So compared to the prior 31 days, I'm up 10%. Compared to the last time, this period last year, I'm up 4.1%.
Man, you're up.
A little bit up, but not by a lot. I think that's kind of funny though. But
That means this guy hasn't listed anything.
like, what's this guy's deal? But I think right now the main focus, like we talk about too, is your current inventory. And I know people are itching; they want to get their fix. Go to Ross, go source. Do we have the buyers though right now as well? Like you have your inventory there. Focus on that. Try to get that stuff sold. Even when we talked about some older items that have been sitting that you weren't too proud of, try to get that money back and you can reinvest into something later on. But it's good to have that money rather than, dookie inventory.
Right.
That's not going to move. And the thing is too, is like when me and Ken jumped on the show, one thing I want to do is, be honest with everybody, anybody that comes on, how we can help them. And I've gotten DMs about like, hey, are you buying inventory right now? I'm trying to cash out. I'm trying to do this. The thing is, I'm open, but I'm not going to buy your tailwinds. I'm not going to buy your gold air monies. That's why I do the videos. How important are comps? Checking that. You don't want to be stuck with that kind of stuff right now. But if Burlington Ross can't even move these, why would me or anybody else try to cash out those things from you and try to sell them at 120, 130? It's not going to happen. So that's how important the videos are. That's why we make them. Check the comps, do your research, and have that ready. All right, let me go back. Air money, laugh out loud, air monies. Let me see, where are we? Did anyone get a W on the Cinder Reflectives? I don't even try those. You tried?
I tried that. It was late at night, and I was like, after like 30 minutes, and then it keeps crashing. They keep pulling it. I was like, yeah, try. And I think people got in at like 1 a.m. Eastern time. Like, nah, not worth it.
Let me see. Shoe sales, Amazon. I emailed you, so I'll look into that. And let me see. Are you buying on the Nike outlet online? So they do have like a certain part of Nike factory store online, but the shoes are so expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty much like at our outlet. They price it when it first came out.
Yeah. So that one has been rough. How does online arbitrage work? If it's online, can't anyone buy it? Bigger brand. So I would say you're paying attention to what is it, like Finish Line? Sometimes they have really good sales, Nordstrom Rack, things like that online. But also you're checking Macari, people that maybe don't know what things are worth. So you're checking these listings constantly, even eBay too. I mean, there's some steals on there, but you really have to dedicate your time, to that to see what people are listing them at. Can you get some really good steals?
Yeah, that for sure. I mean, online arbitrage is pretty much like, going sourcing on steroids, because because you gotta be quick, you gotta be fast, and you gotta be able to kind of like see, because the problem with that is we can't tell how many they actually have back there, their back stock.
Yeah.
So I've done it. I've one point I've ordered 20 pairs of shoes. Next thing you know, they didn't sell out. So you gotta break even there. Sometimes you get really good steals from Finish Line. I've done it. I've ordered 110 pairs of running shoes for $34, and then now I couldn't. I mean, for a long time I couldn't sell it because everybody got them too. I have 100. The dude that had more money probably had 200. So it was kind of a hard push, but eventually now they're all selling out. So I'm down to like my last 5 pairs because everybody was wanting them now. So in a way, it lucked out, but it could have played out the other way. That could have been stuck until maybe summertime or something like that.
Yeah, and Armani, I can't even see. People will buy from trusted sellers. Consumers don't want to take any risks. I do agree on that one. Note to flip it. Our boy Jake is here. Let's see. Texas Pete, how important is eBay's 90-day total just for motivation? Question mark.
For me, it depends on what kind of like well, I guess Instagram account you run. You
Because I
know,
think for yourself, I mean, I look at my 30, 31 days for the last month and kind of compare them the same thing that eBay does. Like, how was I from month to month?
True.
How was I at this time last year?
Yeah.
But as far as flexing on IG, I mean, that's kind of like,
Yeah, it's really I mean, it's a gray area. I guess it depends on your intent. I've done it. I'm one that I can't say like, oh, don't do that, because I've done it, right. Well, the reason why I built my Instagram account, as you guys, if you guys followed me, is to document my journey, and it's to share something that I've learned. You guys know my Instagram account is not about finds, you know. So which is, that's why Glenn does his Instagram account, because he documents his finds. In that way, I document mine as a journey with my wife in building this business. So for me, I use it as a in a way of a, I guess, what do you call that, an album or something like that, or a history of what I've accomplished. It's a lot of it is inspiration and stuff like that. But yeah, flex, it's there, but take it as want it. But really, the only person that knows how much they profit is really the guy that posted
that's
it.
that's the thing
And-
people don't really realize. Like, the only person knows their own business is going to be them and how much money they're actually making
Yeah.
profit wise. You can get all the sales you want. I want to know how much you're making profit per item.
yeah,
And how much work you put into that item, taking photos or shipping, putting that together, that all takes work too. It's not just randomly ships itself. So,
no, I mean, like I tell everybody's like, when they post that, you better know your percentage of profit. Like when I used to post my number a lot, I broke it down so much that people just didn't want to say anything about it, because I knew my numbers. But at the end of the day, if you don't know your numbers, you're just flexing the gross, profit. It's just like saying I sold $1 billion. You didn't make $1 billion. You sold $1 billion. Your profit could be $150,000. I mean, good, but it's nowhere near $1 billion. Like people are flexing on. So it's definitely up to the person, but you just gotta know your numbers. If you're trying to flex your numbers, your gross numbers, talk about your net, talk about your work, right?
and at the same time, I would say flex those numbers when you're having a down month. I think that's the more realistic way to show it. And if you really want to show journey wise or show how you're doing at all times, show it when it's okay or when it's decent. Or if you're failing, talk about why you think you're failing.
Right. Flex the L.
Yeah. Let me go back to see. Flipping weights, we did talk about that one a little bit earlier. I think that's good. I think pay attention to the shipping cost. We talked about OfferUp and Macari, other places selling them. You can pick up weights and resell those. Is it true that Nike is paying their employees for at least 20 hours a week through this quarantine? I asked I asked one of the Nike employees. I sent him a text, see how he was doing, and he didn't really answer that question when it came to the money wise. He answered everything else, but I wasn't gonna force it and see. But
right.
I wanted to make sure at least he was doing
sure. The first week they did, right? Or
the first 2 weeks they did until
they did get paid under scheduled hours. And after that, Nike didn't release any statement anymore. I guess it was a lot more low key to just direct employees.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. Where are we? See, well, brands like Nike, Adidas now sell masks as fashion and protection piece. Jake talked about that yesterday, how he believes masks, going to be part of, the culture now. Instead of just protecting yourself, now it is going to be part of fashion and seeing everybody wearing masks.
I mean, it's like those things that people wear, like bulletproof bags now or something like that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like they're making it like a bag now or something like that they probably copied off of SWAT teams, right? But now it's more purposeful as bags and everything like that. I mean, fashion is fashion. We can't judge. But yeah, probably. But it's just a matter of is it going to be medical grade or is it just fashion grade? So, people are like making cloth mask and everything like that, but they don't protect you from anything.
And also, that's the thing though too, is that we tell people about the news. It's like They say the cloth ones are better now than the other ones. Now they're not. Now masks never protected you to begin with, and then now
Right.
you need masks. I'm like, dude.
Well, you just gotta look what are doctors wearing when they're in the front line. That's what you gotta wear. Better be safe than sorry. The moment you see doctors wearing cloth masks, taking coronavirus test, that I think that would be the signal that it's okay for you to wear cloth mask.
Let me go see where we are. Man, I totally forgot where we are in the chat. Let me see. Online arbitrage is a buy and hold 3 to 6 months. Then you get value, Stevie D. Being patient on the online arb, kind of like what you said. If everyone's going for the same items, it is going to take longer. And so you got to hold on to that. Assuming also you have the capital. Let me go back and see. Man, where are we? Back to selling fire, I guess. Been made good money on updating old listings and cross listing. Plus, had a great stock to list. So, Mr. Sports LA.
Yep.
Talk about offer up for weights, which I agree. I made $500 off of weights today. Decent offer up.
Let's go back to what Mr. Sports LA said. You would be surprised if you run an inventory check. Like I have 1,000 item store. I kid you not, we've found 50 items that fell off the listing, or the listing disappeared, or it's something that we just didn't list. We accidentally put it on the listed rack. That right there is money sitting around not doing anything. So I would highly suggest everybody take this time to run an inventory check. All you got to do is print all your eBay listings and double check everything. And what I would do is I would put a sticky note on each item if it was already listed, and then at the end of the inventory check, pull out the stuff that didn't get a sticky note, and those are the stuff that weren't listed, and cross list everything. I mean, that's free money. That's free money that's sitting there that you could actually sell. My over $2,000 in Macari and Posh was free money that I didn't get because I didn't cross list it.
And that's the difference between knowing your inventory that you've been sitting on because you want the value to go up. I mean, that's different from that compared to inventory that's sitting there because you were kind of like questioning it. Like, is this really great? Like, should I list it? Kind of a little iffy. Iffy inventory is different, but definitely get all that listed. I think we have Jay Hoove in here. Let me see. I don't know if we can see him. I don't think he has a camera, and I think, can you hear us?
He's
I think he's on mute too. So let me see. I'll let him figure out his camera and his mic before we bring him in. So if you hear us, fix your camera, fix your mic, and we'll throw you in. Let me go back up. I think more questions coming in. Do you prefer selling on eBay, Poshmark, or Macari? What is the pros and cons of each? This one will go kind of quick. Definitely all of them have pros and cons. The thing is with Macari, flat up, you're not going to get as much money as sometimes you will. If you have the right buyer, but a lot of the times you get a lot of lowballers, and I've picked up stuff where I've lowballed and they accepted, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now I got something I can resell on a different platform. But for the most part, that's probably the platform I've gotten the most lowballers. When it comes to eBay, we know about that. We know we are definitely going to get returns. We know we can double up, triple up on sales. If you're a great seller, you have the right photos, you have the right feedback, and that one's going to be definitely recommended. But we also know their customer service sucks. We're not lying about that. We also know, returns come with everything, but that's something you're probably not going to deal with when it comes to Poshmark unless something else happens. Macari, surprisingly, I have no one ever sent a return.
Right, I haven't either.
So that's also maybe, I don't know if it's like difficult or maybe people just enjoyed whatever item they got, but I've never had anyone come back and asking for a return on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I think for me, eBay, just because of the traffic that eBay brings, you are definitely getting the most eyes on your item. So, and eBay will give you data. eBay will give you all the other back end things, traffic analysis and everything, and the other platforms doesn't. So That's what I mean. If you want legit, business that you can run off numbers and everything like that, definitely eBay.
Yeah. Eric also says Macari doesn't pay out right away, which I agree on that too. But honestly, I kind of like that. You can kind of have that communication with that buyer, making sure everything kind of goes through
That's
and
true.
it's set. But yeah, you won't get that money right away. Same thing with like Goat, which I know we didn't mention that one, but Goat, you're not going to get your money right away compared to StockX if you hit a certain, I don't know, limit or something, and then you can get that money quicker sent right to your PayPal once they scan it in. Baker brand, $5 for Chunky Chips Ahoy.
Oh man, I'm almost out.
I know. Didn't we buy some on that last trip and then they were gone quick?
Yeah.
Let me go back to see where we were on the questions. We're pretty behind. Let me see. Off-white masks spiked up in price. N95s are flex right now as well. Hand sanitizer flexing. Let me see. Nike Hazmat collection. Dudes wearing tactical gear. Let's see. Glenn and B, are you doing collection videos? I've had a lot of requests for that, so that'll be my next one, and I'll have to film that probably this week. I'm gonna go through it and bring.
Yeah, collection videos are. I don't know. I think me and Glenn's gotten to a point that our collection is really not as fun like it was before.
Yeah.
We're just more focused on like trying to get to the next level, and like the collection's always on the chopping block.
Yeah, you never know when something could go away, especially when there's high value and I haven't worn it. Or
for me, like if there's money to be made in that collections, like gone by. Like Travis Scott, I said it like way back. Travis Scott ain't leaving my possession. Next thing you know, I find an opportunity to invest money and make more money. Travis Scott gone.
Well, the thing is as resellers, we don't see items the same way as like a regular consumer would. We're always trying to find the best deal possible. So it's we're not like, I highly doubt. I mean, it does happen from time to time, but most part, people jumping in like resellers into StockX for their own personal buy, maybe may not happen compared to a regular consumer that really, really wants that shoe. Because if you're smart, will Nike Outlet eventually get this? Will Ross get this? Will undercutters eventually post this? Then I can get a steal. Like you're always thinking about the different options, to get this shoe rather than falling right in and spending, way over resale price.
Right.
Let me see what else. Two brown dudes wearing Nike hats. Let's see. Have you guys been buying shoes online right now? Have you been buying anything online?
Yeah. I've bought I've probably almost spent about close to like $8,000 that I spent in buying shoes online. And mainly these are clearance items online. Like last sizes and stuff like that. Finish line, Nike and stuff like that. Just trying to find different ways to get inventory in. But these are stuff that I'm not planning to sell during this moment. These are stuff that I'm building my inventory for Q4 time.
I've been buying a little mix of shoes and jerseys on Macari and a little bit on eBay. Those are kind of like only things I'm kind of looking at right now.
Yeah, if you get lowballed bad, and it's Glenn's other eBay account.
Oh man, let me see. Where are we? Checking inventory is crucial. Ross Shallington, what's up? Goat taking.
Are you working? Are you still working?
Yeah, we'll see Ross Shallington, see what he says. Does he get more lunch breaks?
Yep.
Yeah, Goat taking hella long. I know they reopened, right? One of the.
I don't know what happened. I was just having a conversation with Glenn. Like I have 22 pairs waiting to get verified. Now I'm even afraid. Like, what if like they just shut it down for the next 3 months or something like that?
Because now I'm shipping it back to the original California one that I was shipping it to. So I think they opened it again, but they're still taking really long to verify authentication.
That's why. That's what happened, because I think I shipped mine to New Jersey. Did you have to ship yours to New Jersey?
I did when they closed that one.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, because all the stuff from the West Coast probably had to get processed here. So, man, it's y'all fault.
Zach, Hustle and Muscle, what's up? He's in here in the chat. Let me go. Do you think that what are dropping to near retail like Pine ones, NC to Chicago ones, and Miss 380s will rebound after the pandemic ends and the economy improves? That's a hard question because I know here's the thing with some Jordan 1s like the Pine Greens. I remember people were a little iffy on it because of the Jordan logo, everything like that on the side. So once people get a little picky, they were a little skeptical. They kind of just sat there for a little bit. Now I do know there's people that are trying to just they have the capital, get as many as they can. And they're going to wait this out and see if they improve. Kind of like UNC ones. Those were a little slow at first, and then now you can see less and less, DS pairs are out there. They're going up in price. Right. So if you do have the capital, I would look and really do the research. How have these shoes been selling since they came out? And even before this, were they selling well? Were they kind of trending up a little bit? But you're going to be in for the long haul just because we don't know how long this is going to last. And I know you want to make risks. That's how you make money. You can't be scared, but you also want to make sure you're doing the best you can is calculating this and not have to fall into, something where you're stuck. The good thing is DS, brand new pairs like this, you can always cash out, assuming StockX and Go don't go under randomly and disappear. And now they don't have people authenticating items. Then you're kind of screwed in that case. Maybe you have to sell them on IG or something.
Right. I would say, just with a past experience, I would just stick with OG colorways.
That's true too.
Unless they're super limited, like the lessons I've learned with Chicago ones and bread or band ones, I'm shooting myself.
Oh man, let's see, band ones. Anyone find that Crimson Tigers Media Day quarter zip at $6 at Burlington a while back? I've sold. They should have sold for $130 when I had the chance. That's from Pip, and I know a lot of people did find those. We saw them tagged.
What are those?
20 of them at Burlington. They had Crimson Tigers or Clemson Tigers.
Oh,
they're kind of like a quarter zip, gray or silver, and they're like $6 or something. I don't know why they're so cheap, but I think. That's the thing too, is I've made some mistakes when it comes to even some of the higher end stuff that I was maybe a little too patient on. And
it gone down. It peaked and then gone down, right?
Like some like Yeezys, some of them have went down. Even the Bread 11s, we talked about this one of the live shows too. Like they were really high in the very beginning. Like people were selling them $325, $310. I sold a decent amount of those, and then how many more pairs are out there? We don't know. And you start seeing them going down. Sometimes it does help to sell them while they're hot before other releases come out. It's so quickly. People are just like, oh, what's the next one? What's the next one? They kind of forget about the other ones. They're kind of sitting there a little bit. Depends on the shoe. So you kind of want to catch things when they are hot, unless you're really, really going to wait that one out super long term. And cash out then. Let me see. Macari allows consumers to flag if the item is sold off of Macari. Do you have any concerns of getting flagged?
I haven't. I haven't run into that issue. It's very possible, but
they did delete one of my chats. One guy was selling some jerseys and he had like a bulk, and then he's like, oh, well, I can do this. And I try to play it off a little bit, like not using certain keywords. And then he just bust out with like, dude, we could do Apple Pay at this, and here's my number. And then right after that, gone. I'm like, dude, what's this guy doing?
Rookie.
I was like, oh man. So it can happen. They gave us like a warning thing and they deleted the chat, and then that was it. But nothing else happened from that.
Well, I think they got their eyes on you, Glenn, because you're a low baller.
This guy's a low baller. Get him out of here. Let me keep going. See the chat. I have shoes like LeBron 14 Mag I've had on eBay since like November that haven't sold. I have patience, But is this a bad shoe or something? Pricing and still a newbie. Texas Pete.
How much was it?
The LeBron 14 mag.
Is that the one that we found?
They did have them at Ross recently, maybe about a couple of months. Maybe
That's the one that has
late
a strap,
year.
right?
Yeah, it's gray.
Yeah.
LeBron 14 mag. I remember we got one at Burlington
Yeah,
like a
and then
year.
I took it home. Yeah.
Did that one sell?
Yeah,
you?
it sold, but not too well. Not too well. Just I guess because it's mag. I guess that's the only thing. But LeBron 13s aren't just really that good.
Oh, the 14s.
Oh, the
14s are better than 13s, but I do agree that it is a little bit of a slower seller in general. Because I also bought the red one, so I think that was a flip the switch. It did take me a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So let's see. StockX is 25K, 99% pass rating, and 100 sales used to be 15K.
I think that's the what is that? I think that's the auto payout.
I think so, yeah. 9 pass ratings. I need some Supreme Oreos, Mr. Jeezy.
Now that's price gouging. Oreos are essential.
Felicia, what's up? And Goat is going super slow with authenticating shoes lately. Yeah, we talked about that one. That's going to take them a while. I don't know what happened. Closed and then they reopened. Another authentication part, I guess, in California, I think. Let me see. Texas Pete, just be patient. Either sell near your area like OfferUp or Facebook group. How are y'all feeling about Supreme drop? B?
No, Supremes. I'm not into it anymore.
Not into it anymore. You were getting quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, I had bots before. But after that, it's just like they're just flooding too much. And they're producing too much of the GR items that really doesn't hold value, and then the ones that hold value is getting more. They have less pairs or runs for them, so it's definitely so much harder to get them.
Let's see, Josh said Supreme Oreos restocked. I didn't cop though. Laugh out loud. How about shoe some of the highest value items you have for sale? Oh, share some of your. I guess he put shoe, but meant share. Highest value items you have for sale. I mean, for me, it's just kind of like the newer, I guess, somewhat hyper. They have been selling, I like Turbo Green Jordan 1s, have those, Bread 11s. Some of the stuff that I picked up that are complete with box, brand new, the non-Ross items,
right.
I have those items for sale that I don't have them on my eBay store. Yeah,
pretty much like Nike outlet returns and stuff like that you get for a good price. Nothing really. I think I sold out. I sold all the high ticket items already through StockX and Gold.
Let's see. Eli said, "Are you still on selling just shoes, or have you opened up your portfolio in different items?" So before that, I was really selling all the way around. Like we had merch by Amazon. I was doing FBA. I was doing a little bit of eBay. I was doing as much as I could on YouTube. I also had part of the family business. I found out, same thing like Ken, we've always talked about, is like when you narrow it down to something you really know, you enjoy, and you pay attention and you put in that work into that single type of niche. For us, it's like sporting goods, right, which could mean jerseys, could mean some clothing, but they're all pretty much related in that same sort of niche. When I paid attention and really dug deep into that, that's where I saw the numbers go up. When you're all over the place, you can only do so much in every little platform or niche. You know what I mean?
I remember me and Glenn buying T-shirts, buying socks, just everything. Random things, hats and everything. I mean, we even tried selling jeans and all that stuff. I mean, there's money to be made. There's always opportunity out there. But like he said, like once you go home and you see all this stuff and you got to list all this stuff, you're like, like, okay, I could make $10 there. And then this is something that I got to take measures of. And, the way you store it, has to be stored differently and everything like that. But yes, I mean, like, we had this conversation. It's like, let's just throw all this crap and do a clearance sale and then just focus on shoes, that we're making like at least $30 profit. I mean, but we're trying to get $50 profit per item. In order to grow, we did the numbers. How many $50 profit, items can we sell, or do we need to sell to reach our 250,000 sales or X amount of sales that we did? We did all the numbers, because the more products you move, the more work it takes. So, and we are, both doing it. Me and my wife do it full time. Glenn does it mostly by himself, with some help with the wife sometimes. But
Sometimes.
it is what it is. So we have to figure out a way to streamline everything and make it a little smoother.
And then for some people, like, they enjoy the used clothing. They enjoy, that kind of stuff too. I mean, I've sold video games. I try to get into something like, while it's hot. And when things aren't hot anymore, you also have to know when to pivot and adjust and switch and do something like that. So for me, Merch by Amazon was hot until they started cutting, the profits that came from that. At one point, you were making like $9 a shirt that you're just uploading a design. They cut that down, $7, $5, $3. I'm like, dude, now is it going to be worth it? Not only that, yes, there is more competition, but for me, Amazon couldn't fulfill the orders anymore. There was so many orders coming in. You would get the alert thing on the homepage. We couldn't fulfill this order. And now you see sales starting to slow down. Now they suspended people uploading new designs for a whole Q4 one year. It's like, are you going to go through this, or are you going to go through something else that's working really, really well, and then now going all in on that? For in our situation, this pandemic, we don't have any choice. Everything is stopped. So whether you're a thrifter, whatever, you can't do what you did before. So now we're going to see who's going to make the pivot and switch. Shoes may not do well after this. We don't know. But for me, I know people have to wear shoes. Like, they don't have to wear Jordans, but they do have to wear shoes. We're going to see what happens after the whole pandemic, and see how we're going to have to make that switch and pivot and adjust. And the ones that don't, unfortunately, won't be reselling anymore. Maybe they'll try to get a full-time job. Maybe they'll work part-time, only resell part-time, go do the Ross thing here and there. Let me see where we are on this thing. Man, like super behind. Let me see, where are we? Did inventory last week. Found like an extra 8,000 in inventory. Bartek. Let's see, Ross Shallington on his lunch break, already sourcing because it has special access. Eli, is the Kobe market back to normal now?
Not quite yet. Probably half than what its peak was, I would say.
It's slowly kind of making its way to where it was before. Macari, I remember some people selling like used Kobe 6, Kobe 7, $500. I'm like, dude, and they're beaters.
Yeah.
500, 400, cashing in on his death, or at least trying to, because nobody was buying.
I think the Kobe stuff that really didn't have stories kind of like went fast. They were up, right? Like just the Mamba Rage and stuff like that, for some reason they just went up, right? Because of what happened. But now they're just back to where they were.
Most of those were like less than $100.
But I think the collectibles are going to be a lot more collectible now that it's passed, it's just going to be the same way with everything else. Like the Jordan 1 to 13, those are the ones that Michael wore when he played. So it's always going to have its own kind of value. So that's how, I guess collectibles go,
People are going to go nuts for NFL stuff in the fall, which they usually do. NFL draft is coming up right now, but I do know they're trying to make sure everything is set for the NFL season period. I mean, it's huge money, and I don't know. I mean, NBA, not seeing them play and how much money they're losing. I mean, they want to get this thing going. Like, they want to keep going and playing. We can't right now. Everyone's kind of in the same boat, waiting things out. Some people are doing like Instacart stuff, or some people are doing YouTube videos. Some people are doing other sorts of videos.
NBA players not doing Instacart.
Yeah. Yep, they're trying to find ways, anything they can, to make that extra money. So things are definitely changing, at least for now. Probably till another month and a half. We don't know. Let me go. What did you learn about Air Jordan 1 breads, Hustlebee?
I mean, hold on to it. I had 10 pairs at one point, and I could have gotten more. Um, After I got the 10 pairs, I bought a few for 250, 260, 275, and then I didn't go all in. And then now, they're like what? I don't know, maybe 800 now or something like that. But that would have been a really good investment. I could have probably just sat on them and just resold them now because I think they're still high. Let me look it up real quick. But
Yeah,
they're OG colorways, so that was the lesson there.
yeah. Look at white cement 4s are going crazy amount right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what our money says. Let me see. Free shipping versus buyer pay. What's a good way to top gouge? So, from show off reviews, I guess with eBay. Do you still do a little bit of both, or are you really on one
Yeah,
side?
I still do both. What I usually do for stuff that are under like $50, just because we ship mostly shoes, stuff that are I say stuff under $75. Just because it will cost me $10 shipping, and then if they have to return it, then I gotta pay that label. So most of my 75 under shoes are buyer pay shipping. But the stuff mostly that are over $100, considering that we're not paying fees there, is the one that we could use that free shipping to our advantage.
Let's see. What's the biggest Kobe ADs your guys are willing to take from Ross? So I was thinking a size 14 and below. 14 was the highest, unless they were really cheap and they were like a different higher end model, like the NXT
Right,
compared
like a rare.
Yeah, but for the most part, I was just thinking at size 14.
Yep.
Do you see the same thing happening with LeBron resale prices suddenly going up? They really have to be a special model because even the ones that are coming out right now, they're so super high priced at retail. They're making so many different colorways.
Right. What is it? The LeBron, is it what, 17 now?
Yeah, I think they're is it 17? I think the retail is at 225, right?
Yeah, it's 17. I bought a bunch. For $70. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean,
the returns.
Shoes, that's and I can't move them for 150 or 130.
Yeah. I mean, these are definitely going to be ones going to be at the outlets.
So those are the ones that I'm banking on for, basketball season, stuff like that. Or cute.
Yeah. And the retail on them is
200.
high. Let me see. I thought they were 225. No, the Monstars.
Monstars are, so the regular ones are just 200.
Retail, yeah, Monstars retail 225. So you're adding in tax and everything. You're spending like 240, 250.
Right.
Shipping if you're getting them somewhere else 260, and that's what really hurts them. Too many colorways, too high priced. Let me see. We go here, or are we? Are you selling more stuff on OfferUp or Poshmark? OfferUp, I'm trying to buy. Unfortunately, a lot of sellers don't know how it works to sell and ship items on OfferUp. As far as selling, though, I'm not selling on either one of those.
Yeah, I'm not on OfferUp.
So I came late to the live, but are now, since people are quarantined, did the sale go down on eBay? We talked about sales. B was down a little bit. Mine was a little bit up, but nothing to celebrate on. That'll go down once inventory.
Not going down. It's still a celebration.
Yeah. Let me see. How hard do you think it is to find almost DS Jordan 16 size 11? Been looking for years and nothing. Once you try to find certain Jordans, you have to check daily.
Yeah.
Not only daily, you got to check
set alerts.
Yeah, you got to set up the alerts, and even then, I've set up alerts on things, and it doesn't tell me until a certain time in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I try to check like every hour if I can, and you never know what comes in, like random stuff people selling for cheap. Let me see, go down. What platforms you sell on? Mine's just eBay, StockX, Goat, and Macari.
Yeah, pretty much what Glenn is on plus Poshmark.
Let's see. What is... No, I'm selling junk Kobe's for 100 to 150. DFW Kicks. Remember we met him out there?
Yeah, I know. This guy's a hustler.
Yeah. DFW doesn't mess around. Let's see. Had my Kobe inventory. Didn't feel right cashing in on his passing. And yeah, some did, some didn't. Some people still trying to sell some things. Some people cashed out immediately after seeing his news that he passed away. Everyone's different on that. Me being a Kobe fan, I haven't sold any of that kind of stuff. But I have some things that I picked up that were to sell down the road. I remember, didn't we pick up, I know we picked up All-Star Game jerseys.
Mhm.
I had one that sat there for the longest time. Like no one ever bought them.
Right.
And I pulled them off once I saw that he had passed away. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'll relist it now. I relist it with all my other jerseys. And what was that?
What size was that?
I think it was like a 3X. It was a bigger one.
Yeah, I still have like a 2X or something because we both got like the bigger ones.
Let me see. Would you feel bad selling shoes of Jordan passes? Oh, if Jordan passes?
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things people were wondering what's going to happen then, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, the question is, if Jordan passes, I don't think the guy's going to die.
He lives forever.
Forever.
Have you thought about hiring employees to help source multiple stores for you?
Hiring employees to source is always going to be a bad idea, I think.
Why? Why do you think?
Because they're not me. The reason why this business is going to be successful because of the sourcer. One of the OG sellers, when we went to one of the eBay meetups, Glenn, remember? He said, you don't make money when you sell. You make money when you buy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? So you actually make money when you buy. So it's really the eye. Talk about mastering your craft. If I would hire somebody that would be like me, one, it would be really expensive, or two, he would be so stupid to sell his skills too cheap for me. You see what I'm saying? Like if we hired each other, Glenn, we would go broke paying each other's paycheck, and eventually it would just even out on what you source for me.
Yeah.
Right? Like that would make sense. Like if I do it by myself, why would I get hired? So I think what the move would be, we talked about this multiple times, when hiring employees, hire employees to do things that takes lesser skill. Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't take skill, it's lesser skill than sourcing. So talk about listing, talk about packaging, talk about shipping. So I think those are the things that I will eventually hire for, because it really doesn't dictate the business in a way. I mean, yes, there's going to be mistakes, but the buying part is the most important part, because the moment that person starts buying dookie stuff, you're going to have dookie all over the place. You're going to have dookie listing. You're going to have dookie things to ship. And when pandemic hits, you're going to dookie your pants.
I was just thinking, like, if B's hiring, I'll gladly apply so he can teach me his ways, and then I'll just do it myself. Like, if you're going to tell me what to buy, what source to go to, who you know, and, oh, yeah, I'm sourcing for Hustle Bee. Like, you talk to one of the employees.
Right.
Yeah, like I'll just learn whatever you're telling me, and then I'll just do it myself. And not only that, now I'm your new competition that you once hired that's in straight up your area.
In your area. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
That's why my best friend is in El Paso.
It reminds me of that time that our boy Los, Relentless Reselling, got one of the Burlington employees, and he taught him, what to look for, why to look for certain things. Call them up when you guys get this. Call me up when you get that. He did that for like 2 weeks. Then that guy just started doing it on his own. And then now Lowe's didn't even get any items from that store anymore because this kid learned it right away and saw what he was buying, and he took advantage of his employee discount. So this kid, like
getting it cheaper.
Yeah, this kid already had his business up and running. Like, why call this guy?
Right.
Let me go back. We are a little bit behind. And let me see. Where are we? Would you guys feel comfortable selling masks?
I would, but I would say in a very how do you call that? I mean, I wouldn't price gouge if I did sell masks.
Oh.
And what I would do actually is I would sell it to people that I know first. I would probably hit up Glenn like, hey Glenn, I got, this mask for $50. Just throw me in, 20% or 10% for finder's fee plus shipping. I would totally do that because at that point I'm giving Glenn access to something that he doesn't have. But if I had masks and I would never charge like 3x like what all these people are doing. In a way, if I had access to buying masks, I would buy a bunch, just so because I know I'm not gonna be price gouging people, and I would sell them to Glenn. I would sell them to you guys, to all the subscribers or the people that follow us in our journey, but not in a, I'm not gonna price gouge for sure.
I wouldn't sell masks. I wouldn't sell sanitizer. I wouldn't sell toilet paper. Number one, I know people really need it right now. They can go and whatever they need, they can buy. I'm not going to try to get into any of that kind of stuff. Number two, I know nothing about that, and I don't want to get into that or anything with it. But I know with my family business, they do have access to a lot of masks from China and things like that, which also is kind of weird though, saying like who, there's a lot of shortages and things like that. But I know people with the promotional items can get that. And so they've been doing whatever they can for helping out like healthcare, and they're still open right now doing different healthcare things. It's, I don't know, it's different, but I know people were jumping on the toilet paper thing and toilet paper listings. I'm like, come on, man. Let me see. Free returns, ? I do free returns.
Yeah, I still do.
It sucks when they return something, but that's part of the business.
Yeah, but we've got numbers. It hasn't pulled our returns up.
Let me see. Who are you guys shipping with? Is it USPS or FedEx or UPS?
I'd say all of them.
I do ship with all of them as well. Now I know there's rumors, just like everything else. Is USPS going to close in 2 or 3 months? If so, then what happens?
That's when we go door-to-door delivery.
When something like that happens, until then, I'm not worried about it. If it does, then FedEx and UPS are still working. Then you figure out a new way and you make adjustments.
We gotta figure out a way, adapt to whoever's open. Like I said, if everything just shuts down, I got a minivan. I'm gonna wear a hazmat suit and everything, and I'm going door-to-door delivery.
Yeah, drive over there, deliver it, and you can go in your hazmat suit. Don't touch me, or just leave them there. Ring the doorbell, and you take off.
Yeah.
Let me see. Or are we? Let's see. Eli, appreciate that. Keep up the good work. Would you consider Kobe AD NXT 360 multicolor rare? I sold for 185, bought at Ross for 55. Not necessarily rare, but also depends on the size too. Right. If you got like a really good size 9 through 11, right, you're gonna make really good money. The really big ones sometimes are a little bit tougher, 13 and a half.
The crazy part with the NXT, they didn't produce a lot, right?
I think they did. They just didn't hype them. Like they didn't promote or try to do anything to market them.
I feel like they went to clearance too fast.
Yeah, they did. They just kind of like clearance those things out. You saw them at the outlets, and even then, they never really went down to like a really good price to source them. Let me see. Bro, I don't see it like that. When you go and then goes out hustles, it's like Shaq and Kobe win regardless. There we go. Let's see. Dookie stuff. Reselling struggle is real from Bryant. Let me see. Keep going. Do you think Jordan 1 mid multicolor is going to resell? I don't know. Mids are tough. We've seen some mids do well.
Yeah,
Most don't really do well.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. Let's see, what would be a good pivot for you guys? Say after the pandemic, sneakers just won't sell at all. Let's say sneakers aren't selling at all. What are you pivoting to? That's why, this is why I'm trying to get my money up, because when I do make the pivot, I'm not struggling trying to figure out, where I'm going to go next, because you're going to be in a really bad situation. Let's say sneakers don't sell and your inventory is 1,000 pairs of sneakers. But I just don't see that technically happening right now. But at least if you have the money to make the pivot, it's different.
I would say just pivot to, meaning maybe if you mean sneakers in a higher end, maybe more of like $100 up, right? Because the only way I see it, it's not, the shoe sales is not going to stop. It's just a matter of which kind, right? So sneaker market has been always there. Sneaker market has experienced multiple recession, and it's still there. But if it really gets bad, I mean, we'll start selling, cheaper shoes, or more into different category, within the shoe world. I mean, me and Glenn gonna start shopping on Nordstrom Rack.
Intramorph says people make a hell lot more reselling junkyard car parts than shoes. Now B knows more car stuff than I'll ever know.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that he might be able to look into. I'd probably do something maybe with graphic design or something that I was doing. So I don't know. There's different ideas, but I don't think we're at the point right now.
So as the better the economy, the less need for used car parts. But the worse the economy, the more need for used car parts, because people are trying to repair their old cars and they're not trying to buy new ones. Which is my other category that I have in my back pocket right now that I will start trying this summer. Because the only issue why I couldn't do it before, because I didn't have the storage or the capability to store it in my third floor apartment before. Now that I'm in here, I could start doing that, which I've done before, only not through eBay, for people that I knew in the car world. But yes, 100%, it's dirty work, which is why there's going to be less people doing it. But there is good money to be made there. Maybe one day I'll start doing it. Maybe
you have to keep hoods and fenders in your apartment.
No, not that one. You gotta go with like a computer box, ECU. The biggest thing I would probably handle is a headlight. But everything, all the knickknacks, the switches, the gauge, and stuff like that, those are the ones that cost more, because if you have to buy it from the dealership, then they
arm and a leg
all the time.
Do you have any 3XL, 4XL jerseys I'm buying? I'll double check. I'll let you know. I don't know what I have. I gotta see what's in there. Let me see. Why is all the toilet paper why is all the toilet paper is gone, but you can buy all the toilet cleaner you want? Good question.
Everybody crapping, nobody's cleaning their toilets.
Let's see. How much money did you invest when you first started reselling shoes? I think I had saved up like $500. Like I didn't have much, and even then I didn't go right into. I only bought Ross finds when I felt really, really confident about them, to spend $50 to $60, and of course like $20 cleats here and there. But even then, my knowledge of cleats wasn't even that great.
Right.
So I didn't buy too many of them. The rest of it was mostly pre-owned, like Plato's Closet. And
I mean, I guess because you had to figure out the business or the platform itself yourself too, right?
Yeah. So that was, it was different. I mean, I'd sold on eBay before,
Mhm.
But shoes wasn't really my main thing. I was really kind of selling video games and stuff at the time because that was also kind of cheaper. People that
Right.
got N64 games and did some garage sales for $1 a game and that kind of thing. So it was different, but I didn't have a whole lot to invest, which is why garage sales and pre-owned stuff was.
Were you like a big of a sneakerhead prior to?
I was, and I remember at the time, it was like, what was it, mid 2000s, maybe when like Kobe 3-ish came out. No one was buying shoes, like, at least hyped up,
Right,
like
right.
higher end models.
Yeah.
No one was buying at the time. I remember about the up tempos, the Pippins, like walked into the mall, they were down on clearance, like no one was really hyped on any of that kind of stuff anymore. But I remember once it started to kind of go up again, like you saw Jordan 1 started to increase
Yeah.
and Jordan 11s, and I'm like, shoes are somewhat coming
It
back.
was like the Kobe 8s, right? Or
Yeah, even that time they started to definitely
the
increase.
Grinch, Kobe 6
Yeah,
Grinch. That's when it started.
yeah, it kind of started to like creep up back up again. Oh man, or are we? Let me see. Do you consider YouTube a hobby or a business? It's a good question. I consider it to be both. I mean, I enjoy doing it, so I'm not like I'm mad when I have to edit videos or I'm
I
like,
think I think let me describe it. Just knowing Glenn, this is a business for him in a way that it benefits him financially, but the joy that he's getting is the joy of doing hobby because he finds joy in videotaping and filming and editing, but he's reaping the financial benefits of a business, which
yeah,
is the perfect business. That's why we do eBay, we do sneakers.
yeah, I like that answer. You know what? He answered for me. Why do I have to say anything else? Yeah, this.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see. Let me go back. Man, the Junkyard Part channel with Hustlebee. Maybe.
Could be.
I have a Kobe 1 Prelude brand new with box. Hold or sell? I'd
Ooh.
probably say hold. I mean, if it's something you're gonna see less and less brand new with box, and when there's less and less out
Yeah,
there,
because with box, you're not competing with raw sellers.
yeah,
You're not competing with Burlington finders. With box, I mean, like game over. Like I have Kobe 1 Pro Tro, the 81 points, but doesn't have a lid because I got it on the back wall. I'm I'm trying so hard to find a lid for it or a box that has a lid so I can transfer it, but I'm not having any luck.
let me see. Do you keep? Oh, how do you keep inventory? Excel?
Um,
Well, you
I
and your wife have your own
I,
different way.
I
Of
used to do it before, but now because I've streamlined everything using the eBay listing and the Seller Hub, I just use eBay Seller Hub now. Well, what do you do now, Glenn?
I just mine's like so old school. I keep track of like what I spent, what I bought, actually like per day,
You
and
still
I can
do it, right? No wonder, yeah.
do it like that. So I know like what my expenses are,
Yeah.
what I bought that day, and then when I sell it, I can easily track it because I have it already kind of
Yeah,
like.
that's the best way to do it.
So I just kind of do it that way.
But do you find like well, I guess because you're so used to that system already, but do you find it hard when you do inventory checks?
Um, I don't find it hard, but it could definitely get like tedious if
Right.
you're not keeping track. Because at one point, when I had more of the inventory coming in from like the bulk buys, then I got kind of like a little distracted and more focused on that. And
Right.
then some of the other things that like didn't get
Through the crack, huh?
relisted or something like that got kind of lost. And I'm like, you know what? Now I got to definitely double check on this and not
Right.
leaving it behind. Let me see. Where are we? How long before you guys became top rated sellers?
Well, that was my because see, like I started because I've seen Glenn's YouTube channel, everything, um, and top rated seller was kind of like a goal really for me when I went into it. So I think it took me, I think it's 3 months, right? Because you got certain holds or stuff like that. But pretty much I got it the soonest I could possibly with eBay. That was you can look into it more into this. Just do eBay top rated seller requirement, because I think it's a good badge to have.
And let's see, why doesn't eBay remove negative feedback on sellers, even if it's not true, even after some time? They have different rules on stuff. That's the thing. Like, you have to call them. You also have to find the right customer service person that's going to look into it and help you. I've called one time, I had to talk to like 6 different people. Finally, one of them was like, "Yeah, we can remove this," even though the other 5 of them gave me a hard time. I'm like, what's the deal here?
Yeah, that's very kind of like hard and questionable there. But I think the other thing too. I think, doesn't it fall off after 3 months, after 90 days?
It does. Oh no, after a whole year.
Oh,
Like,
year?
yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but
You'll still see it there in the 12 months.
yeah. So the only thing really that couldn't be removed is if it's subjective. It's very subjective. Like, somebody would just. But I don't know, between what the last 3 years I've done it. I mean, there's only gonna be 1 or 2 people that's gonna be like that.
Yeah, I have one, and I didn't even bother calling them. Well, I don't. Oh, you can't call them right now anyway because they don't have any customer service reps. But let me see. Next one. Are you guys doing online arbitrage? We talked about that one too. Kind of sourcing the same or other platforms. Do you regret spending so much to see Gary V? I don't regret it. Would I do it right now? Now that I've went through it, probably not. Do I regret at the time when I did do it? No, because Merch by Amazon was actually bringing in like 6 figures, and with no inventory, only uploading things and collecting royalties, that did help me when it came to tax time.
Yeah.
Not only that, I got to take the wife. We've never been to New York.
Right.
I got to go and do all of that, go to the office. And the information, though, as far as growing social media and a business, everything makes total sense. But you're also kind of, I'm not at the point where I have like a whole team growing a channel and all these other things. Could it get to that point? It could, but I'm really focusing on the reselling part of it. So that's kind of a different side. I do find it though, like we talked about last week with Gary, and his stuff now, talking about how, he wanted to see the world burn, and now it's burning.
Right.
But he's being friendly, and everyone's asking for advice. And it's like, how you're not talking about when you wanted to see a struggle?
Right. When
people are dying,
the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
We'll see how many entrepreneurs are left.
Yeah.
But for me, like, just looking from the outside, I think it kind of did open your eyes to bigger things too. When you visit and experience different things like that. For me, I was so excited for Glenn to even go. I was like the first one to like keep asking him, like, so what'd you do? Like, what else? And I think like paying for something like that experience is, I think, and especially at the level where you were at, I think that was a really good move. I think that was a really good move. You took advantage of an opportunity that not a lot of people had.
Next one, we see how do you grow on YouTube? Now, growing on YouTube just has to be with consistency and being committed to it. You can't make a video and then disappear. You can't make 3 videos and disappear. You have to keep making videos when no one's watching them, when you only have 1 subscriber, which is your mom or your sister. You have to keep making the videos. And I think the biggest part for me that was tough, and which is why I keep the old videos on there. I didn't want to show my face. I hardly wanted to talk. I hate the way that I sound, the way I talk, all of that. Still had to make videos somehow. And eventually things started to grow, and I tried to learn like how to make things better. But I still stayed consistent with it. So that was the most important part. Let me see. Next one. What's the point of being a top-rated seller?
I mean, I did. You had to pass a certain, standard or something like that. Understanding certain things. I think a lot of it is just customer. What do you call that? I think the comfortability of the customer trusting you that you're somebody that has certain badge from eBay. It's just like you get a more benefit of a doubt that you're not a scammer or something like that, or not selling fakes.
And even some of the store benefits. I mean, there's other little things here and there. But I know when I did lose my top rated seller, I did see some of the sales go down a bit, and I lost it because this was probably like 3 years ago when inventory, and I like double sold items and I wasn't keeping track right, and then I saw it go down. So that was and I saw the sales go down from that. Let me see where we're at, man. What? Oh, we did intramorphic to kind of answer that one too with the top rated seller, kind of like back to back.
Right.
What if Ross hold the box, but you had to purchase them for $10 more and up? Would you buy them or would you sell them without the box?
Well, if it's a high end shoe, if any over $100 shoe, I would pay extra 10 to get the box.
Yeah, I think for sure. If it's a higher end shoe, and here's a real question: would you be interested in buying boxes in bulk if someone sold them, like the red Air Max boxes, or the orange boxes, or the silver cleat boxes?
I'll definitely get the red Nike Air box.
Oh, okay, that's a real question. Would you buy in bulk?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How much are you selling it, Glenn?
I know. That's the thing. I have like 300 red boxes that are all I do is switch out the labels, ready to go. I know. Let's see. Next one. We need to be on YouTube. He said that he would do YouTube, but it wouldn't be reselling. So
yeah.
What's your cutoff point for ROI? For example, what's the lowest ROI your sneaker you're willing to settle for?
Right now, I think where I'm at. I try to discipline myself 50% ROI, but I'm not gonna lie that I've taken less. But for me, going to buying it, 50% ROI is really the bottom I would spend. Like spending $100 and after fees and everything, making 50 off of that. So I think it
depends on the find too. How long you've had it. The market
it goes down, right? If you've been holding on to it too long.
The market for it? How does it look? What are the projections? Have you had this item for so damn long that you're tired of seeing it? And I tell people all the time too, though, is that because people say, how do I know if I should hold on to this or not? Well, it depends also what kind of find it is. If it's some sort of like Air Max Plus, Vapor Max, something like that people are looking for, even though it might be flooded right now, it has a certain amount of value that it will go up. But looking in general, Ultra Boost or NMDs, remember when they were hot at some point, then they started trending down. Now they're really down. So it's like, on that case, would you sell them? Would you keep them? What does the market show? Some Ultra Boosts have a really great market because of the collab, because of the design or the colorway, and some are just like, Ross can't even sell them, much less you for double the price.
Right.
Let's see, we talked about that one already. Let's see, do most people shopping on eBay actually search for the default sorting, or do they change from lowest price to first, ending first, etc.?
Well, we could always just assume these things, but as far as I would look into just consumer behavior, there's always going to be that person that goes from low to high automatically.
Yeah.
More likely or less, nobody's really gonna go for high to low. I'd say low to high, and then maybe best match and nearest to me. I think those are the ones that matters.
Yeah, I think most of the buyers, they want to try to have a good deal. Some sort by free shipping, some sort by buy it now.
Right.
Some people don't want to wait for auctions or
True.
anything like that. So
auctions.
Outlaw Hustler, $2 in the super chat. Thanks for that. And are you taking advantage of the PPP stimulus? Which is, I figured we're going to get some questions on this. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to bring it in.
Right now, we're playing it by ear. Me and Glenn are constantly talking about it. We're doing our due diligence and research. Of course, we want to take advantage of anything that the government can help us with. But if it boils down to a point that if it gets too hard or they're requiring too much, we're just gonna be like, y'all can have it. We'll find a different route and avenue.
So let me bring up the differences, and like we have kind of like a couple of options you can look into. Number one, we know about the stimulus check. You're
Right.
getting that, depending on how much you made, your family, spouse.
Glenn's getting $100 from that stimulus check.
And so some people are going to use that money for rent, for other things. Some people might risk it for reselling. I mean, you do whatever you want to do with that sort of money. They said 3 weeks minimum by the time it gets here. Some people may not get it for long. It's going to take some time. Now, the other one we have is like a disaster loan, right?
Right.
That one's like 10,000. That one you can apply online. And I think that one, do I have a link on that one? There's so many different questions and things you have to look into. You don't have more than 500 employees. Small business, different questions they're going to ask you for that. That one comes from the Small Business Administration. The other one is where we were talking about Paycheck Protection Program. So that one is also different, where you have to go through the banks. So you can check your local bank, lender, credit union on how that's going to work. As far as like for payroll and things like that, I think if you're getting inventory or try to pay it off for inventory, that's not going to fly. So there's different, those are technically our 3 options, but I'm not looking into getting any of those 3. But maybe if there was one, you could look at the 10K for the disaster loan.
Yeah, I think that's
looking for that.
applicable to us.
$5 from Kevin from the Mullet Shop. So thanks for that. $5 in the super chat. And let me see. Anybody else has any questions as far as the loans go? And anybody in the chat that's going to go through the loans and see what they can do with the government money, or maybe stimulus check, maybe the disaster loan, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do buy it now or auction? We do buy it now. We go back up to some other ones. Mr. Sports LA, we hate the way you sound too. Mr. Sports LA. Did you sell any of those Jordan 13 cleats? No, I still have them, and I'm still priced high. And I mean, going down on price, it just doesn't make sense for me to like post them at 100 and get rid of them. They cost $20. Like I'm in no rush to.
That's Glenn's bank. What are you talking about?
I may not get 1,000. I may not even get 700. But solds did show people did get 500. Some people, even in the very beginning, one guy got 800. Some got 700.
Right.
But to sell them for 100, at this point, I've been waiting for so long. There's no point of. But you're 4 times your money. No.
Yeah.
No. And yeah, right.
Those people.
Let me see. Government needs to lift this. We can't go into debt. If people get sick, they get sick. It's part of life. We need to be working. Only winner is the government. Sounding like Trump. Trump was saying that we need to just get this thing going.
You're pro natural selection. The weak just die.
Yeah, there's so many, like I said before, there's so many different ways of looking at it because everybody has their own insider info. Right. People are watching different news outlets. Your Instagram and Facebook is flooding you with posts that are real and some are not real, not even close to being real. Right. And people are believing everything out there. And it's a weird time right now with how much of a overload of news, fake and real, that is coming in. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Yadira.
Yeah, $20. I'm leaving with more than I came with. Thanks. Appreciate that on the super chat. So yeah, you've been following her journey too on IG.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. Appreciate that.
Right.
Thanks for that. On the
Hopefully, we can learn from her gym setup and just start working out from her garage.
I know, a beast out there. Let me see the other one. Do you think the sneaker market will get flooded when we come out of this?
Yes and no. I think right now, the level of inventory is definitely going down. That's one for sure. The more people are gonna need money, the more people that are gonna off their inventory for cheaper. So that means there's gonna be less. Considering the fact that I don't think the factories are pumping out more inventory right now. Just because you have to think warehousing costs and everything. Nobody's really trying to pack their warehouse, or if they're not full already, where are they gonna put all the new inventories? I think there's gonna be somewhat of a higher demand, and lesser supply. That's how I look at it.
And we're also kind of curious in how the outlets are going to approach this, because they also need to keep inventory moving. And you see the same items we've been seeing in the app that are at the outlets.
Yeah, that's
What's
crazy.
going to happen with this?
Imagine, dude, that's crazy. Now that you see those things, those are probably the ones that are most popular around the US.
And they have a lot of inventory of that they're trying to
Mhm.
sell.
Because you have to think, Glenn, those are the items that are not stocked at the outlets.
Yeah.
Those are the items that are still in the warehouse that they were supposed to send to the
Ship
outlets.
to the outlets, yeah.
That's
So, let me see. How do you guys organize the Ross receipts? So I keep them by month, by year into month, and then I have them organized kind of like those little accordion things, which is kind of old school, but at least I can pay attention to where.
I just put them on a shoebox.
Yeah. Remember Carlos had, what did he have? Remember he had like, oh, he has them all on the rubber bands, right?
Ziplocs. He did it. Ziplocs.
Oh, Ziplocs. Okay. Let me see. Did you ever invest in sports cards like Gary V? So I used to collect sports cards when I was younger, me and my cousin, back when they weren't worth anything.
Hey guys, no, that's not an investment advice, right?
And at one point I sold quite whatever I could get for them, because I knew there was just no point in this. A lot of these were like overpopulated wax cards, that there was so many of them out there. I did keep one. Let me see. I kept my Kobe rookie cards, which I still have. But I kept this one. Let me see where I put it. I have it here because I was thinking about, like, if you get things graded, but you really have to know, like, is it selling well? Like, is the grade gonna be really? How are the corners? How are the centering? Are there scratches on it? So this LeBron, which I know graded like a Gem Mint 10, was selling for a crazy amount of money. I have this one here. It's chilling here. If I do a video, I'll make a video if I do send it in to get graded. Because of the pandemic, they're not doing grading right now. So it's just here. I'm just
this guy's sitting on gold.
On gold. Okay.
Well, it won't be gold if they cancel NBA for the rest of the year.
And LeBron's looking to see what he could do. Let me see the next one. Where are we? We talked about the loans. We talked about the sports cards thing. Let's see. What is the most you made net off of one pair of hype shoes?
I think it's the Travis Scott. I mean, it's the most I've sold.
Yeah, that is true. We're talking about a retail
170
one high. Yeah.
And then I did sell mine for $14.70 less fees. So
that's very true. I think I sold mine. Mine was size 11. I think I sold it for 12. I think so. Probably the same shoe.
Right.
Let's see. Last questions before we go. Man, where are we? Now I got totally lost on where we were. Let's see. What is? Oh, we talked about that one already. Have you had any bad experiences sourcing on Macari? I did find like an old school Emmett double star authentic jersey, and the dude sold it for like 20. And I know for sure this was selling for great money, and he never shipped it out. And so I think what happened was he listed it, and I was probably too quick to like
No, but
that he was like, something's wrong. Like I underpriced.
yeah.
Kept trying to contact them, kept trying to do everything I could, never shipped it out, and I never got it. So that's probably the only time that I got it.
That's funny.
Let me go back up and see. Oh man, I feel like I'm just like all over the place on these questions. I probably already skipped some on here. Do you also sell locally?
I don't.
No, I haven't sold locally since my Craigslist days, so that's been quite a while. Let me see. Can you show us how you walk around with a camera on you through the stores?
I'll do that next time we see each other.
I did do the GoPro once in a while, and the GoPro, the camera views are weird.
And
I don't really show you what I'm looking at. What?
It brings the security guard on you too quick.
Oh yeah, the full chest mount. Like, what is this guy doing? But I actually stole this from Ken. This little thing that you can put on the camera on. Ken let me use it one time for Out Hustled, and then I just kind of kept it from there. So usually I kind of like keep it here because the mic is right here. So when I talk into it, you can definitely hear me. So it's a little bit closer, I think, to my chest view, and then I can kind of like go up and down like that. But only one time told not to record, which was Goodwill when I did thrifting stuff. But no Ross has ever kicked me out for recording yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much Glenn knows the people at Ross at this point.
I got an N95 mask. Where you guys think I could sell that? Or we talked about selling masks?
Sell it to me. Yeah.
He needs one when he goes to the post office.
Yeah, we do need one. I don't have N95.
And let's see, where's Jake at? I don't know. He was here earlier in the chat.
I think he's working remote.
Yeah. Let me see if I get my health back in order. I'd like to start vlogging at my junkyard trips. Intramorph. We'll get well soon. Intramorph. Hopefully you're doing better. Take care of that health right now. We're not going anywhere. Everyone's in quarantine, so health is important. And I think we are pretty much done. So we went through questions. Next time we'll do it. We'll do it again every Monday. Try to get there's other business stuff we wanted to talk about. But
out with us.
we started answering questions. But we'll answer questions next time. Also, you want to jump in, you can do it next time, the first time doing this. But we want to go deeper into, we'll talk a little bit more like analytics.
Yeah, and also guys, you can DM us, the questions ahead of time. And if you want to stay anonymous, you can stay anonymous in our DMs or email Glenn and stuff like that. But this was a good time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah, time actually went by quicker than challenging Jake into knowing KDs. So this one was good. I appreciate everybody in the super chats. Kevin, Outlaw Hustler, Yadira also gave us $20 in the super chat. So thanks for that. Go follow her on IG. And everybody else that gave us a super chat on there. Patrick, I know too. So all right. Appreciate it, guys. And we'll see you on Wednesday's live show. So go out and get it.